guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, as you have probably already seen by the title, which is actually something I always say in my intro, we're going to be reviewing the whole Colourpop face range. So we're talking about foundation, concealer, powder and loose powder. Now mind you, at this point I have already tested the concealer. I'll let you know my thoughts a little bit after, but of course before we jump straight into the review, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more of this stuff. I do a lot of affordable brand reviews and tutorials and first impressions and all that. Mainly it's towards like Essence and the more affordable brands, but I do find Colourpop very affordable. Of course, make sure to follow me on our social media, which is where I show you the hauls, I make you decide on new videos, and of course chat with you guys. And without further rambling, let's get into the review. First, have a look at the website for the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. And as you can see on the website, their shade range is pretty huge. I don't think Colourpop sells to any stores, correct me if I'm wrong, at least not in Europe, I don't think so. So being able to get on their website, then when you try to choose your foundation, it separates kind of to warm, cool, neutrals, then fair, then deep dark, medium, all that kind of stuff. So you have different undertones and different shades, and if still you're not sure if that shade is actually your correct shade, you can go onto their shade matcha, I think that's what it's called, I'm sorry if I say it wrong, and then you can put in a shade of a different foundation that you might own or that you will be able to swatch. For example, it has the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and even if you don't have it, you can actually go to a drugstore, swatch the Maybelline Fit Me foundation onto your hand, find your closest shade, and then add this onto the Colourpop website, and it will actually suggest you what they think is a closer match to your skin. I want to talk a little bit about the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I think I tried this on my first trying Colourpop products out, which was a couple of months ago. I will leave it down below if you guys are interested to check it. If you love full coverage, this thing is like full coverage. What I didn't like is that it was a little bit too drying for me. I do have combo skin and I do get oily here, but underneath my eyes and on top of my eyes, I am super dry. Usually how I do my reviews, I will use the foundation and then use my Coty Airspan and my Catrice concealer and set it all with the setting spray. I'm pretty sure that Colourpop believes that all of these are a great match together, and that's why I want to try it. So as always, I'm going to be priming my skin with my Too Faced Hangover RX primer. Well, not all of my skin, I'm gonna do half of my skin. And by the end of the day, I'm like, which side did I say that I primed? But yeah, I keep my right side primed because it's the one that I remember the easiest. Oh my god, it actually locks. I've never seen this on any other foundation. This is freaking genius, Colourpop. It actually has a lock, so when you like press it, the pump doesn't go down. That is amazing, because a lot of foundations have like cups, but then you end up losing the cup anyway, and then you have a pump and it could be pressed when you put it in your bags and when you travel. I just used 3 pumps onto my hand. First, I will start on the unprimed side. I have watched a few reviews and I am so intrigued to try this foundation because all the reviews were sort of mixed. Oh my god, this is very pale for me. So I'm just gonna start putting some on the primed side as well. I had a little bit of a close-up situation between me and my mirror, and I see things happening, but I will tell you when I'm done with the primed side as well if they're good or bad things happening. Having dark circles and a lighter foundation than your actual skin tone is never a good idea. The one good thing is that this foundation god, I can't even take myself seriously. This foundation does not oxidize. It has stayed light enough as it started, which their concealer actually does oxidize. So that's really good to know that this one doesn't. Guys, I hate to say this, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. If you watched my previous Catrice liquid foundation review, which went south really fast, I am having the same issue. On camera, I look smooth AF, but if you come close, you will see that it's clinged onto every single piece of skin that I might have on my face. And again, I exfoliated right before I did this video. I get the no filter effect. I just feel like it's too drying personally for my skin type. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to get a better look right now that I've turned down the brightness of my camera. Like, you see how patchy it is on my nose. This is the prime side. Up here, it just looks like, do you see? It grabs onto every patch. I just look dry everywhere. Even back here, that it should be looking nice, it's just not. Like, you can see how it's sort of patching up. It has sunk into all of my lines pretty much, especially this one here, which is the line that I'm more like about. I am super upset that I don't really like this foundation, but you know what, we did have an incident with the Catrice foundation, so I don't want to do the same one here again. If you do want to watch this video, it will be linked down below. Maybe it will fly on a card up here. I will continue my review and I will wear it throughout the day, but for concealer I'm gonna go on top with my Catrice one because I know this is what I really love to wear and I know how it sits on top of other foundations. And I know that me disliking the foundation, if I put the concealer that I don't really like on top, it's going to like make it even worse. So let's just continue with that. This is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. Foundation is being a little bit patchy or cakey. If I put this concealer on top, it kind of helps the situation so much. So next up, I want to go ahead and set this concealer, and of course I'm gonna be testing the No Filter Loose Powder. Mine is in the color Translucent. I'm not really a baking person. I will only like bake under my contour. I don't bake underneath my eyes because, like I said before, they are incredibly dry. Next up, of course, I'm gonna go and set the foundation with the No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder. Let's set this baby. So here's the foundation now. It definitely looks quite fixed, especially in this area right here, and the powder helped a ton to fix this. Check out the forehead as well, a little bit better than before now that we've put the powder on. All in all, don't get me wrong, I'm saying it's better than when I applied it. I'm not saying it actually looks good. You guys have actually seen my skin close up with really good foundation and not necessarily expensive foundation. It's very affordable, and I will leave a few reviews that I believe you should watch down below if you want to check some really good affordable foundations that I've checked out. So the time right now is almost 3. Let's say I applied it at 2:30 p.m. and I'll be back when I finish my makeup for my first check-in. Whoa, I know what you're thinking. Isn't that a dramatic change from when you left us from the first check-in? And yes, it is. I did a sit-down, chatty, sort of get ready with me where I just did my eyeshadow with the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill. I think this is the Bling Boss palette. If you're interested to watch like a, you know, like a low profile chatty get ready with me while I blend my eyeshadow to literally oblivion and I have 2 punched eyes with purple shadow, you can very well watch it. I will have it linked down below. It's not a foundation that I would definitely reach for. Like, I don't hate it necessarily, but I don't love it necessarily. So I'm kind of in between. It is a little bit too drying on my skin. So I put it on at 2:30 and it's almost 5 o'clock. So you can definitely see that was a chatty get ready with me that I just filmed. It's been 2.5 hours. It hasn't deteriorated at all. It's exactly the same. Mind you, I've sprayed it twice. Guys, this glitter on my eyes though, I'm loving it. Oh no, man, that's mascara. It always happens to me, whatever. You can see the foundation, it hasn't really gotten any worse. Actually, now that everything else is on top, it's only gotten better. You can definitely see how it's quite dry on my skin. This is the unprimed side, and this one right here is the primed side. I'm gonna keep it on for a couple more hours, so I will see you guys on my next check-in. It is right now about 7:30. I applied it at 2:30, I think, so it's been on my face for about 5 hours. At about 4 hours, my natural oils start peeking through, and I will show you on the close-up as well. I really don't mind it with this foundation because, as you can see, while I move my face, it just looks more like a dewy foundation. So it's not like I look oily, it looks more like, I would say, how a normal skin would shine, I guess. My face actually looks pretty much the same. Overall, it looks pretty okay. I would say it looks better than when I first applied it. What's my opinion about the full range? Let's start with the foundation. It's really not for me. I think that if you have dry skin or normal to dehydrated skin, I don't think you're gonna like this no filter serum pressed powder. I found this to be actually pretty successful for a powder. I enjoyed how it made my skin feel. It mattified me, it blurred everything, it gave my face that filter feel, which is called like no filter powder, so it's pretty accurate there. So I will definitely be using this powder again. I wanted to try and use this translucent powder on my face and not underneath my eyes, because it really just darkened up my concealer underneath the eyes the second I put it on top. But I'm pretty sure that with my face, I would be 100% okay with that. So I definitely want to try this on my face. For underneath my eyes, I'm like so-so. I liked the way it looked, but I didn't like that it darkened up my concealer, if that makes sense. This is everything for this foundation review. This is a no for me, or proceed with caution if you want. This is a definite yes. This is a pressed powder. And for the no filter setting powder, I will try it on my face before I talk to you about my full opinion about this. If you want to know more about this, I will probably talk about it on my social media, most likely Instagram, so make sure you follow me there if you want an update about this loose powder. And that is it for me, guys. That was the whole review. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.